Right, I've been doing some experiment with this Peltier cell which I have under here, device, I don't know what to call it, but it's a Peltier, and I've tried a few fans, and I'm going to try this, I think it's Pentium 4 Heatsink, and I believe it's a CPU fan, both going off 12 volts from this ATX power supply which I've hacked into to get different voltages out. That's just sticking on here with some heatsink paste stuff, thermal HY510 it says. Just about out of that actually, have to get some more. Right, I'm going to turn it on so you get some noise from the ATX power supply fan. My printer's on, so you're getting some noise from there. I think this fan's quite quiet. That's one thing I was worried about, whether the fan would be pretty noisy, but it's not too bad I don't think. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And I've got it's sort of standing on these balls which fasten the, that's this fan, making most of the noise, the ATX fan. So I'll give that a few moments. It's vibrating a bit there, and it's saying about 9 there. Let's get the ambient temperature, 28. Let's get the hot side temperature. This will be pretty cool at the moment, 33, because it's just been, it's not been used really. Right, so I'll give it a little bit longer. Let's see what it is now. So it's -3 already. It's -3 centigrade. It's 32 Fahrenheit. Let me check that. 25 Fahrenheit. I think it's dropping. -3 centigrade. I'm going to talk in centigrade. That's UK temperatures. Yes, that is very cold. I can feel it. The question is, once this heat mass builds up heat in here, is the fan big enough to withdraw all the heat even with all these fins on? It's going to take possibly half an hour, half an hour for this mass here to suck, well, fill up with heat, so to speak. So initially, yeah, I do expect the temperature to drop, -4. I've lost one of my lighting units, so sorry about this. I'm having a muck about. I'll come back in about 10 minutes or so. Well, it's been about 5 minutes, and I can feel this hot side getting pretty hot. This side is pretty cold. I can put my hand on it, and I am getting, don't know if we can see it or not, I am getting a bit of moisture off there. It's because it's below the due temperature, I suppose. -1. Try and get the warm side. About 34. Ambient temperature is 31, give or take a bit. I'm pointing at the orange part on here, not the silver part, because silver is not very good at when you're using infrared thermometers. So that's still pretty cold, but this is starting to build up heat now. Now, is the fan powerful enough to, with these fins, lots of fins on here, you see, been knocked about a bit this, but still usable I reckon. Just heatsink paste holding that on there, nothing else. I think they are a bit more, so long as you don't put too much pressure on them, might work a little bit better if you just put the right amount of pressure on. And the coolness definitely is an impact on how much heat can be withdrawn from the hot side, because I did try this in a tray of water, not this one but another one, and I got down to -7. I took the fan off and tried it, but the trouble is there that the water is pretty still, so it's not moving about. So 37 on there, about 1 degree on the cold side. People are mainly interested in the cold side, I think. 35 on the warm side, on that orange part. 31 on ambient temperature, just on this sort of desk thing here. That's about 5 minutes, 6 minutes. Well, it's been about 10 minutes, near enough. 3 degrees on the cold side, so it looks like it's warming up a bit. 38, 37, 38 on the warm side. 32 ambient temperature. Let me feel this. Yes, it does feel like it's getting slightly warmer. It's still cold, but let me feel the hot side. I have to be careful here. You feel it. Yes, oops, that is pretty warm. It's warmish. So is the fan powerful enough to withdraw the heat away from the hot side? I don't think it is enough. And so as I know, this is a proper CPU fan. I do have some other fans there, but I think they're going to be about the same. 12 volt fans. So it's leaving us getting on, well, 1 or 0. .34 on the warm side. Still 31ish on ambient temperature. That feels pretty warm actually. Well, lukewarm we'll call it, just over lukewarm. That feels very cold. I'm touching that with my palm. I'm just getting a bit of moisture. A few drops of moisture. Don't know if you can see that. Just up here. Listening, I can see it, but I don't know if you can. That's with the condensation in the air, which is what I want to for, is to condense the moisture out the air on the cold side. And well, dehumidify basically. Oh, by the way, I am pushing air this way, like it's sucking air in through the edges here and blowing that out the bottom. I can feel slight warmth here coming out the bottom. Yeah, not majorly hot but warm. We try and get the temperature under there. So that's saying about 35. The ambient temperature is about 30, so that's about 5 degrees. And that's leaving enough 0 there, so it's varying a bit. As I say, if this was squashed on here, just a little bit of pressure, but you never put too much pressure on these, I think it'll work better. I'll put some notes down in the video about Peltiers. Pretty good notes I found. Never use these Peltiers without any heatsink sort of one, because it will damage the circuitry. So the cold side is this side with this small heatsink on, and the hot side is the one with the big heatsink on and the fan on. And you see the way the wires are in this case. Red here, positive, negative over that side. 12 volts. Let's give it a bit longer to see if this builds up. I think it's staying, it feels about the same. I don't think it's varied much. But while I look online for, see if there's any more of these heat sinks, I think that's a good heat sink. As I say, it's got 4 holes and 4 3mm balls, so you can bolt a fan to it. I've propped this up with some blue tack, so because it would slide down otherwise. I put in this tray to catch any moisture. It's pretty dry at the moment. Let's see if it catches any moisture over the next hour or so. Well, it's been half an hour or so. I actually pressed this and it seemed to squeeze out some water, because it's only held on by thermal paste, and there's a bit of blue tack holding it up to stop it gradually sliding down underneath here. And I tapped it and some water drops came off. See, there's water drop, I don't know if you can see it, there's a water drop right on the edge there. Down my finger. So obviously it's working now. I'm going to leave this. It's late on, what time is it? It's just past midnight, 5 past midnight UK time, and I'm going to leave this all night and see what it looks like in the morning. Just going to leave it now. Let's take the temperature, final temperature before I. So it's varying a bit, that 3 degrees give or take. That's probably ideal to get past the dew point temperature. Or the warm side is 39 and ambient temperature about 30. So put in this plastic tub to catch any water. It's quite damp, this like heat sink on here. Yeah, very damp to say the least. I can't see any ice forming, but then it's suggesting 3 degrees. That is warm. This side is quite cold, very well, reasonably very cold really. So I press on it. This side, oh, it's getting pretty hot. There is warm air blowing out there, and now, as I say, the air is blowing this way. Zoom out a bit. Forget this is a voltage regulation thing that I have separate. This is powered off 12 volts both, the fan and the Peltier, because I have some taps of 3 volts, 5 volts and 12 volts, and then I have a variable voltage that I don't use much, but it's there if I want it. So as I say, the air is getting sucked in through the fins on the edge and through the gaps here and blowing out the back, and I can feel the warmth here. I put my finger just behind the fan. It's just warm. So it is blowing warm air out there. I'll just leave that. I might try, because I think really these are meant for the fan to blow this way. But I've got this way for a reason, because I want the air to be almost sucked down, go round. Come up through the fins on the heatsink. Really, I've got this turned around the wrong way, but I'll leave it as it is for now. And then blow out the back. That's the basic idea, and the air getting sucked down, because of the design of the unit, will help draw the water down, and the weight of it will drop off basically. This is at a slight angle because of this, but that's probably ideal because it'll help the moisture go to the front. And notice that the fins on here, I hope you can see them. You might be able to make them out there going down this way. Obviously if they were that way, then water would get trapped in the fins more. So you might see that there's just two fairly biggest drops there at the moment. My 3D print should be finishing off in about 10 minutes, I think. Anyway, that'll be finished when I come back tomorrow. I'm going to leave this and go to bed. Well, it's next morning. I think it's been about 5-6 hours. Let's look at me have a feel. It's warm. Yeah, there's lots of quite a lot bit of water on the fins. I can see it. So that's 39. Just a second. Yeah. Seems to be jumping about when I hold it on here. That 13. Oh, it's colder than 13, I can tell you now. Let me lift it up a bit. So you can see, maybe you can see the drops of water shaking off there. So you put some blue tack just to hold up the Peltier. So look, sucker sliding down. Ah, that's better. Minus. Oh no, sorry about that. I kept finger. -5. -5. 5 below 0, and it's not freezing. So the water, I don't believe that, because the water would freeze on there if it was -5. It's certainly damp. It's very damp, that. Let's have a look in here. Yep, so can you see that? That's a reasonable amount of water for the length of time, and it's done what I wanted to do. So obviously I've tried, as I say, I've tried this heatsink before with a different fan. It's all down to how fast the fan can pull the heat away from the heatsink, how much it can keep it cool. Because these heatsinks can get pretty warm without a decent fan on. So that fan there, which is blowing this way, just remind you, so in a way it's sucking air in through the fins, which is the way I want it. I want it blowing out, I don't want it blowing this way. The normal heatsink way would be blowing that way, so it is actually blown out. And just feel it slightly warm coming out there. Yeah, so the idea works. So I've been looking online for heat sinks, trying to find the lowest that people can buy, and also you can buy a kit like this, and the kit is about the same price as a heat sink and possibly fan. Not that much difference if you shop around, depending which ones you get, obviously. So I haven't decided which to go for. Buy a kit which is very much like this. You get a fan, a heat sink and the Peltier, and maybe the front sort of heat sink part. I don't think that's freezing. There might be a bit of ice in there. and you turn it off. So I'm turning it off. Let's put back in here a bit. So if there's any ice in there, it'll defrost and will drop water into this tub. A bit more water into this tub. Just show you that again. You see that in the corner there. I think that's a reasonable amount just for like being here like it is. Shows how much moisture is in the air. That's been over the night when generally it gets colder. And I think when things are colder, generally colder, they don't hold so much water, moisture in the air. And that would affect the dew point. So what's happening, this is cooling down below the dew point and it's condensing on the fins of water. I'll leave that a few minutes and then I'll come back, see if that gets any more.